Time to pretend it's a different day because I just changed my clothes. Hey everyone, my name is Shenzhen and welcome to Tohsty Conversations. So, I have a question. Do you think everyone is trying their best? Let's talk about that. Also, a huge disclaimer, I am not a mental health professional. I'm just a normal person who loves to have conversations like this. None of this should be taken as official advice. Do your own research, have your own conversations, and seek medical professional help. So I came across this topic pretty recently when I went on YouTube and I saw this video with Brené and Russell Brand talking about this specific topic. Do you think everyone is trying their best? I think a lot of us would naturally say, hell no! I don't think enough people are trying their best. So essentially what Brené Brown and Russell Brand discussed was amongst a large group of people that they surveyed, a lot of them also felt that not enough people are doing their best, and they can often picture somebody in their lives that are struggling, that they feel they're not doing their best, and we really feel guilty and sad and angry because they aren't trying their best, or at least we think they aren't trying their best. But then for the ones that were religious, they would be asked, what if God came down and told you that they were trying their best? The switch flicked. They felt kind of guilty judging them because it showed them that they didn't know the full story. And that got me thinking about, do you think that everyone's trying their best? And I believe they are. I believe that everyone is trying their best given their level of knowledge. I think that's a very key point. And it's hard for us to understand that because we aren't in that situation. We can pretty much always picture someone in our lives that we feel they really could be better. And it feels like, oh my God, if they were to only stop doing these irresponsible things, that they'll be so much better off. Why can't they do it? Why aren't they trying their best? And I feel like, no, who are we to judge them for it, knowing that we know so little of their situation? I think most of the time, we actually aren't doing anybody any good, expecting better of people, mainly because most of the time, nobody's actually talking to them about it. We normally talk behind their backs, thinking that, oh my God, they could be doing this, that, and the other, but we never tell them. We don't advise them directly that, you know what, you could be doing this. And we're not keeping them accountable while expecting them to keep themselves accountable, which is a bit of a crazy situation considering if they were to do that, they wouldn't be in that situation. They need someone there. And I think that was the first something that I noticed when just thinking about this topic. A lot of people don't actually do that. And I think it's interesting. And we have a part to play in that. So to another point, I feel like when we're judging them based on their decisions, some of us may have that fear and that guilt of having a personal experience, to have personally experienced something similar. We feel like, oh my God, if they were to just realize this sooner, or realize that your actions have consequences, go through what I went through or what I personally experienced when I was younger. In some form, we feel personally responsible to help them. I think that comes from a really good place. So what I'm not saying is that we shouldn't expect better of others. I think we ultimately should. I think in general, it does benefit the community and society around you and the people around you. But provided that you actually communicate. I think that's the biggest issue with a lot of us, is that we find it very hard to communicate directly to them or to the people around them that they can be doing better and they should be doing better, because it comes from a place of judgment, hatred, and resentment. I think that's why we find it a lot easier to say things behind their back and not tell them directly. And I think with this notion or this statement that everybody is doing their best given their current level of knowledge, it allows us to empathize with them and know that it's really not easy going through what they're going through, and having them live up to our expectations without them being communicated so, I find it very unfair on them. I think when we start to understand that everyone is trying their best given their current level of knowledge, the advice that comes out of us comes from a place of compassion and empathy compared to resentment and anger. I think think it's difficult for us to empathize with it because it's hard for us to put ourselves in that situation. But I guess a very useful exercise that I found would be to imagine somebody who you admire dearly and at the same time they care for you. And imagine them thinking or saying behind your back that I really don't feel like they're doing their best. I'm just disappointed and I don't know how to help them. So having that image in your mind, and you yourself, I think a lot of us would feel, well, you don't know me, you don't know my circumstance, like who are you to judge me? I am trying my best. I feel like that's a lot of the time that's our first response because we're very emotional beings and we're being attacked on our decisions. So it's something to reflect on. I think it's important for us to think about these things, mainly because we don't want to push somebody from a place of resentment and anger, because that brings more harm than good, not just to that person but to yourself too. So I think it's much more beneficial if we come from a place of compassion, but that doesn't mean being soft with how we push people. Again, this is a very nuanced topic. I would love to hear what you have to say about this. So do leave a bunch of questions and a bunch of your opinions down in the comments below. And yeah, so I'll make another Q&A about this topic. I think it's one that would extend a few videos and we'll have some very, very interesting opinions from you guys. So I'll leave you guys off with this question. Do you think that everyone is trying their best given their current level of knowledge? Let me know down in the comments below. Till next time, I think we have a pretty good lineup of topics to talk about. So I'll catch you guys in the next one.